Hey, welcome, welcome. My name is Taylor Thompson, coming to you live here with some wisdom for Wednesday. I just got off a 2-hour long Zoom call and had a couple of nuggets, and I thought, okay, this definitely would be something that might help some people today. And I wanted to come on to talk about the 4 stages every distributor goes through. So as you're coming on, let me know you're here. Want to say hi. Hi, Jody. Welcome, welcome. As you're coming on, let me know. I want to see where you're coming in from, what country you're coming in from. Would love to say hello, say hi, but just say, this 4 stages. What are the 4 stages that every distributor goes through? Okay, Morocco. Wow. Okay, that's a little ways away. We just got off a big Zoom call we did for 2 hours. We had Ireland, we had the UK, we had Spain, we had Italy, we had Germany. It was really fun. So yes, hey Peter, welcome, welcome. So I wanted to share with you guys today, New Zealand, love that. For those of you, first of all, I want to thank everybody for those who know about the Millionaire Training, who know about Larry's live book launch that we just went through. Hi, Darla. Welcome, welcome. We just launched this, and I wanted to share this with, I'm going live in a couple of groups that I have here with the She Network, with our Larry and Taylor business page. I wanted to share this with you, and we are starting a new book club, and this is for anybody. This is any networkers. I want to just make this special announcement. So if somebody can put in there themillionairetraining.com. We're going to be starting a free book club. It's for anybody. You don't even have to have the book, but we're going to be starting it next Friday. And really just really bring in some value for you, your team, for those of you who maybe just getting started, maybe you've been around for a while, but I did want to let you know about it so you can join our free book club. So if somebody would be so kind to type that in, thank you, Peter, themillionairetraining.com. So www.themillionairetraining.com. You can sign up for the book club and get the book if you haven't had a chance to have that experience yet. But let's talk today. Want to welcome each one of you on. We're going to be talking about Wisdom Wednesday. What wisdom? Wisdom for Wednesday. And like I said, I just got off a Zoom call. We were on with people for the last 2 hours, but probably one of the biggest things that I thought, okay, what can I share with you today that will bring some value to you? And this is something that every distributor walks through, the battle that every distributor faces. And so there's so many times that, distributors get going, they get off to a really fast start, they are moving and growing, exploding in their business, and then they plateau. And they plateau and they don't see that they've changed anything they're doing. They don't see they're just as busy, they're working, they're on the phone, they're doing all sorts of things, but their check's not growing. Their team's not growing, and things start to flatten out and taper off. Hey, Tiffany, thank you for being here. And so I thought, okay, this may be a powerful message for somebody to hear today. And one of the leaders that were on, they're leading their company in their country. They're the top earners of their company. And they came to Larry and I, since back in June, and really frustrated because they felt like that they had completely plateaued. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to advance and to grow and to help their team grow. And they were kind of at this stopping point and we'll keep running in against brick walls. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Like, how many of you been into that place? I mean, drop a heart if you really know where I'm talking about and you can relate to this, that you feel like you are growing and growing and then you plateaued and now you may be either on a decline or just standing still. And, let me know, where's Larry? Oh yeah, I know. Well, it's just me today. I mean, you're just gonna have to deal with me. Yes, he is amazing. So yes, Tiffany, yes, Jody, you understand where I'm talking about. So these are the phases, and I use this analogy inside of the training. Thank you, Darla. inside of the training, and that so many times we lose sight of, because we are in the forest, we can't see the trees, we don't really understand the circle we're standing in, and we've lost sight of what got us to where we are, or how we got there. We've lost sight of that. And so there's 4 stages that every distributor goes through. And the first stage that every distributor goes through is, the first stage is productivity. I want you to think about it. Whenever you first got started in your business and you're excited, I call it ignorance on fire. You don't know much of anything, but you're super excited. You're excited about your product and service. You're excited about your opportunity, and you just go a house of fire, right? You are in full-blown productivity mode. You don't really know much about anything, right? And you're bringing people into your business. You're getting customers on your product and your service. You're getting new people on your team. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Drop a 1 if you know what I'm talking about. And you see this happening. You see this happening all the time. Ignorance on fire stage. I love it. That's the way I was. I mean, whenever I think about how I got started, 28 years ago, I knew nothing. I didn't know anything. I went through the phases. I went through this phase, and only thing I knew is how I felt about my products, right? And what was happening for me. And I was excited about that. And I just shared it definitely from the heart. I was just sharing what was happening for me. And so many times that people, they lose sight of the simplicity of just doing that every single day. But my very first week, I made $420, and I didn't know anything about the compensation model. I didn't know anything so much about anything science or anything related to the products. All I knew what was happening for me. And that's all I was talking about. And blissfully so, ignorance on fire. I mean, wouldn't it be great to be able to bottle that right there, to bottle that mindset, to bottle and encapsulate that kind of a feel for everybody and stay there? So that is the first stage that every distributor goes through. It's the productivity. You're out of the blocks, you're running the race, and you're going really, 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 really fast, and you're in the productivity mode. Well, what happens whenever you start getting customers, you start getting new teamers, you'll get, oh my gosh, this is blowing up, and you have so much business, you're doing all of this stuff, and you're still doing all the busy work, you're still on the phones, you're still doing all the stuff. But what starts to happen? You're not going this way, you're now going this way. Why is that? Because this is the second phase. This is the second stage that every distributor goes through, and it's the management stage. And so we don't necessarily know whenever we cross that bridge, because we're still busy. We're still doing the stuff. We're still on the phone. And you guys probably, and drop a 2 if you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you're in this phase and you're calling the company because somebody's order was wrong or check was wrong, or you're doing more administrative kind of things. Maybe you're on the phone and you're doing 3-way calls, or you're doing this training for this person, or you're doing all of these things, but you're not really doing the things that got you to that place to begin with. You know what or is everybody understanding what I'm saying? You stop doing, at some point you transition from that productivity mode into a management mode, and you stopped your daily method of operation. You stopped your income producing activity. You didn't quite recognize it, because you're still just as busy. You're still on the phone. You're still doing all the things, but you stopped doing the activity that got you to that place to begin with. And you didn't quite recognize that transition. You still think that you're doing your business. You still think that you are doing all the things, but you stopped your job description. You stopped doing what it took to get you where you are, which is income producing activity, which is what? Your job description, which is what? Getting new customers using your product or service, or getting new people on your team, right? That is the productivity. That's the first stage. So you've made this transition. You've made this transition over. Now you're in management mode, and you didn't quite see the transition. And now what starts to happen? The check goes flat, or maybe it even starts to take this little piece. What's the third phase? The third stage is when we start making excuses. We start making excuses why we're not growing so fast because, well, we've got this and we've got this team and we've got, I'm busy doing this and I've got all of this going on. I've got this distraction here. I got all of this stuff going. And we start to justify why we're not growing. We start making excuses. Hey, Rachel, glad you're here. We start making excuses as to why we are in this spot, and we start looking for reasons. We start looking for excuses, and we really quite haven't identified the problem yet. So then what happens? And we call this, and a lot of you know, most of you who have heard of the Thompson rule, right? The 80, 15, and 5. 80, 15, and 5. So this actually applies inside of this mindset too, because 80%, if you get your mind off 80% of why you joined your company, right? Why you love your product and service and why you love the opportunity, you start you start moving your eyes from the 80 of why you love it and the 15 that's maybe questionable and things that you don't necessarily like. So you start making excuses. That's the third stage. And then you can actually move out of 15 and where your thought process is gratitude, appreciation, why you're here, why you started your business, and you go into stage 4. And this is a dangerous stage. Stage 4. You start blaming. You start blaming maybe your upline. They're not supportive enough. Maybe you start blaming your downline. If they would just do more. Maybe you could blame your company. If they would only give us more tools. Maybe you could blame you could blame your family. You could blame your set of circumstances. There's so many things that you could point blame to as to why you're not growing or why you're not doing your job description. Now I want you to think about it. What stage are you guys? I want you really acknowledge. Can you think about what stage you're currently in? I want you to think about it and really be honest with yourself, because there's a way out. No matter what stage you're in, here's the good news. The good news is that you can change it. The good news is that you can change where you are. You can change what stage you're currently in. And all it takes is just somebody showing you, hey, pointing out, hey, this could be why you're struggling right now. And I want you to think about this. And I use this analogy, and I love word pictures. How many of you understand, how many of you are vision people? Like, you see in word pictures? Drop a 3 if you are a vision person. For me, I love to be communicated with in word pictures, that you paint a picture for me where I can see it. It's like a handle for me to grasp a hold of, to where I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. And I want you to think about a water spigot. And I mean, whenever a water spigot, hey, I don't know who said hey, but hey, make sure that you will, because I'm actually doing this on StreamYard. Let them know that you give them permission for me to see your name, because otherwise I just see Facebook user and I don't know who I'm talking to. I want to know who I'm talking to. So I want you to think about a water spigot that's attached to your house, your home, the outside of your home, and you turn the water on. And I want you to think about how the hose is coiled up, it's rolled up, it's on the outside, of your home. And what happens whenever you turn the water on? That is productivity. That's the phase. That's the first stage. When you turn the water spigot on, that's activity. That's productivity. That's production. Stage 1, you turn the water on. Now, does the water come immediately out? No, not necessarily. You get a little bit, but do you have a full flow of water force immediately coming out? No. That's why it takes time. There is some time involved in that process, right? So you get off to a fast start, you start moving, you start building your business, you start growing, right? Things start happening, and you're in that productivity, and now the water is out full force. So you're like, okay, things are going great. But then what do? What starts happening? You go into management mode. So management mode is you turned off the water spigot. You turn off the water spigot, you are not in activity mode. You are not doing your daily method of operation. You are not doing your income producing activity. You start managing people. Turn off the water spigot. Now what's happened? Does the water flow actually stop at that point? No, it doesn't. It keeps coming out until it's actually in a trickle. But to some point, it stops, right? And now what? You start moving into the excuse. And that's how the stages start working. And so what I wanted to share with you today and bring some value to it is like, how do you get out of those stages and how do you move through those stages? You've got to go back to stage one. You have got to go back to what your job description is, because it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter how high you are in your rank, and it doesn't matter what your check is. If you want to keep moving forward and growing your business and growing your people, then you have to be in productivity. You have to do your job description every day. You're the one that has to be in activity mode every single day. Whenever you focus on what you're doing and you're leading by example, you're showing your team, you're carving out the path, you're being the pioneer. You're not telling them what to do, you're showing them what to do. This is a tell, show, try, do business. And so I wanted to come on, I wanted to give you a little bit of wisdom today, because I wanted you to really think about, like, where are you today in your business? What is actually happening to you? Really be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be able to self-evaluate and say, okay, what am I doing today? What did I do today? Would I have hired myself today? Would I have fired myself today? You know, that is really how you ultimately employ yourself. And we talk about that in the Millionaire Training. And I hope each one of you are just joined on. Make sure that you join our, Larry and I join our book club. Go to themillionairetraining.com. We're going to be starting that book club next week. It's free. You can come on and you can join us as we start having conversations about the millionaire mindset. So I hope that you all have a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. It is Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. Hope you got some value. Give me some hearts and love if you got some value out of today. If you want to smash that little button or tag somebody with, in the group, tag somebody in your team that needs to hear this today or could really encourage them today, make sure you tag them. And I'll tell you, if you tag somebody inside this comment section, write their name, tag them, and I'll put you in for a drawing. We're going to give away a free signed book. How about that? Free signed book. Put your name. If you tag somebody, your name will go in the drawing, but their name will go in the drawing as well. So the more you tag, the more times your name will go in, and I'm going to give away a free book. I'm going to announce. I'll come on Friday and announce the book. I'll announce the winner to you guys. So I hope you all are having a blessed, amazing day. That is it for me. Taylor Thompson signing off on Wisdom Wednesday, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.